Hey Ariana, here is a few notes to help you with your slope formula. So I looked at 4.3 and what it looks like to me for 4.3 is that you should be able to look at a line graph given a point and be able to identify or draw a line based on the slope that's given, and then you should be able to identify the y-intercept. That was like the first part that I got. So from the video that I watched, they gave you a point 4, 3. So we're gonna go over 4 and up 3, and I'm gonna plot my point here. Okay. They gave you the slope down here of 1 over 2. So from that, if you remember from this morning, slope is rise over run. So that could mean up and down for the rise or left and right for the run. So rise could be up, down, run is left or right. So if we start at our point here that's given of 4, 3, we go up 1, and I'm gonna use my highlighter here. Actually, I'm not, because it's not gonna write nicely. So we go up 1 and to the right 2. That'll be our second point. We go up 1 and over 2. That'll be our next point. Okay. From that point, you can label the point here. So this would be 6, 4. And from there, we could make an XY table like we talked about this morning. 4, 3, and 6, 4. And you subtract them. 4 take away 6 is -2. And 3 take away 4 is -1. And remember, we write change in y over change in x. So we would have -1 over -2. And since they're both negatives, we do have to change that. So because a negative divided by a negative would be 1/2. So just showing you that this matches the given slope that they gave you. So we made points going in the positive direction. Now we can make points going in the negative direction. So we can go down 1 and over 2. And we can go down 1 and over 2. Well, that line is not straight. Pardon me. And those would be 2 more points. Then we can go ahead and draw a line. I don't know how straight this is going to be. There we go. So we draw our line, and this is going to bring up the y-intercept. The y-intercept on your graph is where the line crosses through the y-intercept. So this is the y-intercept, and this is our x-intercept. So wherever that line crosses the y, which is right here, that's your y-intercept. So your y-intercept is on the y-axis. So remember, when we write points, we write them as x, y. So our x value would be 0, and our y value would be 1. So our y-intercept would be equal to 1. So that was the first thing that I saw in the video. From there, the video moves into, or not the video, but your lesson moved into showing you 2 formulas. The first formula is the slope formula, which is y equals mx plus b. And what you have to know about this one is what each letter stands for. So the m in the formula stands for the slope, and the b is the y-intercept. So if you're given these numbers, all you have to do is plug in the numbers. So from the problem above, we know that the slope was 1/2, and we know that the y-intercept is 1. So we could rewrite this and say y equals 1/2 x plus 1. And that would be the equation that you would write using those numbers. The other formula that you will see is the point slope formula, and it looks like this: y minus y1 equals mx minus x1. So I'm going to label these. The y1 value here is the y coordinate. So the coordinate that we were given in the original problem was 4, 3. So x, y, excuse me. And the x here is the x coordinate from that pair that was given. And then the last one, let's go green, that's your slope. So you would rewrite it so it would look like this. Y minus 3 equals your slope, which is 1/2 parentheses x minus 3. Oh, whoops, sorry, 4. My bad. So that was the second item that was shown in the video. The next thing that I noticed is that they started to give you, I'm going to erase all this real quick. They started to give you examples. So they would give you the example of y minus 6 equals 3, x minus 5, and you had to choose the point that lies on the line described by the equation. So these were the options: 6, 3, B is 6, 5, C is 5, 6, D was 3, 5. So you have to, you know, like we just went over, the parts of the point slope formula. These are our numbers. Make sure you keep them, you know, organized. Okay, so we know that the orange is our x coordinate, the yellow is our y coordinate, and the green, the m, is our slope. So if you're trying to figure out points, then you don't need to know the slope. So right now you have a 6 and a 5. Remember that we write our coordinates as x, y. So the coordinates for this one would be 5, 6. So the answer that you would choose would be C. If you have any questions on that, let me know, okay? And you may notice that the signs are opposite, so like it's x, y minus 6, x minus 5, but when you look at your answer, it's positive. That happens, the signs will flip. So if you ever come across something that looks like y minus 6 equals 3, but then it's x plus 5, that would tell you that your x coordinate is negative and your y coordinate is still 6. All right. I am just flipping through the rest of these to see. The next set is what we went over this morning. You are given 2 points on a coordinate plane, and you have to figure out what the slope is. So remember, I think it's just easiest to do the table. I know that they showed you using point slope, so I'm going to show you both ways. So we have our x and y and our 3 and our 5, and we have to subtract down. So 1 minus 3 would give us a -2, and 2 minus 5 would give us a -3. Remember that we write change in y over change in x, so that would be -3 over -2. But remember, it's negative divided by negative, so our slope is 3 over 2. That would be one way to write your answer. Another way that you would write your answer is that, I actually don't think they want you to put it in point slope, so never mind. So that is the way that you're going to want to solve those. I just think using the table is way easier than figuring out using like drawing out the coordinate plane and counting your slope and everything, or your rise over run. All right, the next thing that they may ask you to do is they may ask you to write out, so if you're given, the coordinate points of 1, 2, and 3, 5, knowing that your rise over run or your slope is 3/2, they may ask you to write it in slope formula. So you can either write y equals, nope, sorry, wrong one. Remember the formula y minus y1 equals mx minus x1 . So you can either, you could possibly have two answers, and that's okay on this because we have 2 points. So we have xy and we have xy. So we could have y minus 2. We know that our slope is 3/2, and then x minus 1. That could be one answer. Or the other answer, using the other set of coordinate points, could be y minus 5 equals 3/2, x minus 3. So really, it's just figuring out which equation to use, which one makes sense, how to plug the numbers in to figure those out. All right. If you are stuck, if you have any more questions, please, please, please send me an email. I'll be happy to send you any more samples or examples that you may need. All right. See you later.